is letting women avoid male drivers now, which this is actually a insanely good thing for Uber because if you don't know, Uber has become incredibly popular, especially in big cities like let's say New York or in the state of California in general. And because of this, harassment has also gone significantly up. Not only in America do we already deal with like the long, dark highways where people go missing and people have things happen to them year round. If you look at any stories, you will see this throughout basically the entire year. But now it's even happening in an Uber Eats if someone's picking you up for Uber or if somebody's doing DoorDash or something of that sort as well, where basically women in general will get into a car with a guy and maybe they're slightly nice or something of that sort, and the guy just starts full on harassing them. Whether that's figuring out their address, not letting them out of the car, or something of that sort. It gets pretty diabolical if you look into some of these stories. So this is a insanely good update that they're doing just in general because it should help get rid of a lot of these situations. Now, I will say to add on to this, be careful. Making a fake account is insanely easy on these apps and on these profiles that a lot of people probably don't think about. That is when you are getting an Uber just in general or you're getting Uber Eats or whatever it is, you should always check who you're talking to before you actually have to talk to them. Whether that's you're looking through their window or you're looking out of your window or whatever it is, you should check that it is safe for yourself before interacting and making sure that you're obviously getting in the correct car. Because right now there's just this mass epidemic where people in general are thinking that it's okay to stalk people or to harass them. I mean, I watched this video the other day where this woman basically delivered for DoorDash and she was kind of nice to the guy that opened the door, and the guy ended up stalking her. And I've also seen the opposite too, where a girl opens her door and she takes the food, and the guy basically never cancels the order. So he always has her address on the app ready to go. And he came back like 6 hours later and took a picture of her like front address and everything like that. That means the guy was stalking her for probably hours on end because she was slightly nice to him. And it really sucks because when you hear people talk about like the fear of men or the fear of women or something like that, a lot of the time you hear this and you might go, well, why? Why would that ever be a thing? Why would you ever be scared of someone on that level? Why would you be in general afraid? Even if it isn't the majority of the population, right? The issue is the amount that it is might not be the majority, but it is the majority in certain roles, right? Because the men that are are just going out and being normal, you're not probably going to see them doing anything that would allow them to access someone's address. You probably wouldn't see them overall interacting in a way that would appear as harassment. Now, this isn't saying everybody in these roles. Obviously, there's a lot of DoorDashers, Uber Eats drivers, Uber drivers in general who would never do these things. But it doesn't take away that these are a handful of jobs, right? That allow someone to get direct access to your front doorstep, your, your address, your name, your probably your cell phone number, and all of the above. And that's what makes these things so scary at the end of the day. It's why so many people now, like especially if you go to bars or you're walking down the street, have a way to have code words where they can go and talk to someone else and basically say a code word and get out, And that's a really good thing that we have those things 100%, but we shouldn't need them. And not because, like, I think they're dumb, but because in general, nobody should be doing this stuff in the first place. Nobody should be stalking people or harassing people or anything to that point where it's getting freaky deaky, basically. I'm sure at this point a lot of people have seen people asking for angel shots, for example, where it's not only women but it's men as well, where where they feel like their drink has been spiked or something of that sort, to where they're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna dip ski out of here. It's just sad to see. Growing up, I'll say I had some situations like this growing up where uh, I like to think that like I was a handsome young lad for myself, and I would get stalked all of the time. And that might sound like I'm just making that up, but like genuinely, I would have people follow me. They would follow everything I'm doing. They would stalk my location. They would follow me to the store. They would do everything in their power. And this was when I was in like high school. So if people are willing to do that when you're a kid, they're definitely willing to do it when you're an adult. And it gets even worse for women as they get older and older. Basically, it gets really really bad. If you have any friends that are girls or you're a girl yourself, you've probably noticed where they get DMs that are gross. Like I don't get how we've devolved so much as a civilization. You know, if you got caught saying like 99% of the stuff that people say in DMs, right, to a woman in medieval times, you'd be like hung upside down by your toes or something. You'd be put in the straddle and got thrown tomatoes at. Like, I don't think people take it serious enough, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just online or it's just a joke or whatever." But those things, when it's online or it's a joke, it evolves very quickly into someone being sadistic, weird, or like actually doing something absolutely diabolical. And it evolves very, very quickly. I don't know, man. It's so weird. I keep seeing stories about this too. I genuinely do. Like, I try to keep up on normal media and stuff like that. So I did see this Uber thing today where obviously they can select who they want to be in a ride with, which I really respect from Uber. But we need this with more stuff. Uber is a good start, I think, because it's a way of transportation. But like Uber, I think there should be certain things at like maybe sporting events, of like a women only section, maybe if they want that. I think like women only sections of like restaurant, men only sections of restaurant. I'm not saying like full segregation. I'm still saying like keep the world as a normal as at a normal pace, but allow the people that actually have trauma and things like that to still live life. I think that's an important part about it. It's okay to let these people that are going through these things that are despicable things that have happened to them, near them, or around them to still live a normal life. But thank you guys for watching, and let me know what's something you think would be really beneficial from a system that where you could do segregation between genders, basically. But have a wonderful night, everybody. Peace.